What's up, everybody? Another episode of the Playmaker podcast live. Got Nate and got Balls joining me here. We're going to get this shared out real quick so we can let people start to get in here. As always, I'm your boy Deafness45. Nate, how you doing tonight, big dog?
Hey, man, feeling good. We actually had a good slate of football over the past weekend. But actually for the Monday night game tonight, we got Cardinals, we got Rams. I'm actually gonna go with the Cardinals tonight. They've been just a wagon all season. They've been good when healthy. I know the Rams are missing Jalen Ramsey, and I think someone else tonight. So I think it's gonna be played to the Cardinals' advantage. So give me the Cardinals.
All right,
Tonight.
Balls, how you doing, my guy?
Good, man. One step closer to firing Matt Nagy for the Bears. RIP Brady. I think Matt Nagy killed him last night. Now Brady's going to be showing up hopefully later, but no, man, doing good. Just enjoying life. But tonight I'm going to go the same way. I think Arizona's defense kind of gets after the Rams tonight. I really think they're going to win up front against that Rams offensive line. So, I got it. I don't think it's going to be – a lot of people think it's going to be a shootout. I see it being kind of a little bit more of a defensive struggle. So, let's see. I'm interested in seeing Kyler tonight. Kyler, see how he does. Because last week against the Bears, you couldn't really get a judge with him in that weather forecast. They didn't really have to do much to beat the Bears. So I think tonight he's going to definitely try and push the ball downfield, and we'll see some big plays that way, hopefully.
All right, sweet. All right, my prediction is going to be the Rams beating Arizona. I'm going to go against the grain with both of you guys. I think I'm going to go against Balls on this one. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think both quarterbacks are going to have monster games tonight. I think we're going to see little OBJ get in the end zone and continue his streak. Finding pay dirt. I think Cooper Kupp is going to continue his trot with the triple crown, if you will, in the NFL. First in receiving yards, receptions, and touchdowns. I think he continues that. I also think you see Van Jefferson get in. I think Kupp has 2. Jefferson has 1. Odell has 1. Kyler Murray comes back and throws. Hopkins 1. We got A.J. Green getting in 1, and we got Kirk getting in 1. That's how I'm going to call the game tonight. That's how it's going to go. You feel me, young fellas? Let's go. Now,
that's 7 TDs. That's the over, I'm assuming. You're all over the over
tonight. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Shootout City. I said it. It's coming. I'm bringing it. All right. Balls, tell us how you can get yourself into winning $30 or break credit.
Yeah, man. Each week we do our podcast, that we've got here. I'm going to call it more of a vlog. We're more live, just doing a kind of video. But once the video is uploaded, after tonight's episode, this will be uploaded. Go back, leave us a comment, a question, a topic. As you can see on the screen right now, Deafness had some of last week's comments up there for us. So we go ahead, we put those names in a randomizer, and you can win up to $30 PayPal or Deafness 45 auction credit, which, I mean, if you've seen some of the things that go through there, $30 is going to get you a good card, get you plenty of good stuff from there. So,
hey, Mark, I think you posted Mark Burrell. I think you just put a post in. I think you put it in the wrong one. Throw it over in the Playmaker previous video this last week, and I'll add
you got to do it for the previous week.
I like to
go through there and kind of read them.
Yeah, I love comments. We love comments anywhere in any other video too, but I think that comment was supposed to be on because that was on my DFS NFL talk, and it was about. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you wanted it to be on here. So get that in before we do this real quick. I already added you to the wheel because it was a question related, which I assumed you were referring to here. So I'm going to add you to the list as well. Here's what we're going to do, guys. So what I'm going to do is I got the names in here. There was multiple comments from a couple different people. And again, it only counts one time. Shaw, you did not comment, my guy. I do not see you in the comments. You're usually there every single week, but this is the list. This is what's in there. Joe Mans had a couple. Boul Nate had like 3. Everybody only gets 1, but Tim had 2. Brady's dad, Nar, you, Joby 1, Eric Stallings, Joe Mann's had a couple. But yeah, that's what I got for this week. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run it, guys. Make sure you get them in. Get them posted the next time. Nah, you're good, man. I mean, you've won before too, but I'm going to shuffle it 7 times like we always do, and then we're going to roll it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good luck. Whoever lands on, guys. Whoever lands on is $30 PayPal or auction credit, whatever you prefer. Just let me know. And I thought maybe Nate. Oh, Nate, so close. Nar, where you at, young fella? Hit me up. Let me know what you want. If you want break credit or if you want the what you call it, the $30 PayPal.
Almost.
Hey man, you should be used to that. You're a Philly fan.
Exactly. You're right. You're right about that.
One of these. Nate's gonna get it one of these times, man. He's gonna get it. So, all right. All right. Let's see here. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. What's gonna be best? Do we like when people? I guess we'll just have it out like that. All right. So I guess I'm gonna start. I'll do mine and I'll do Brady's Playmaker since Brady can't make it tonight. He had work that was going late. So I'm going to say mine. I'll say Brady's, and then we'll go Nate, and then Balls. Then we'll roll into our sports here. So the one I'm going to take is going to be my man, number 33, Dalvin Cook for those Minnesota Vikings from Thursday night's game. 27 rushes, 205 yards, most he's had this season. Most, I think, I don't remember what the stat was on it, but 2 TDs as well. So Dalvin Cook's going to be my playmaker for the week. Brady's playmaker was George Kittle. George Kittle's made the playmaker now twice in the last couple weeks. He's being a monster. 13 receptions, 151 yards, and a TD. So he continues to a lot. I'm seeing a lot of tweets and a lot of things on social media about he's the best tight end in the league, etc. So take it for what it is. Nate Dogg, who you got? Who's your playmaker for the week, my man?
So my playmaker is a former first round pick, running back from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. He had 16 carries, 137 yards, and 2 touchdowns, helping the Seahawks get a much-needed win over the Texans. Hopefully this could be a game for him to break out and actually finish the season strong. So Rashad Penny, you're my playmaker for this week.
And there's a lot of Rashad Penny cards out there, man. And there's a lot of them that got dumped off for nothing because they thought he was a lost cause. I didn't even think he was really playing much in the NFL anymore. And all of a sudden, he's been getting a run this year. He's getting a few shots here and there. But, man, awesome playmaker. Good to see a guy that there was high hopes for that's still been lingering, hanging out to make it happen. Balls, what do you got for me, buddy?
So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of behind the scenes. Saturday night, I was sitting here before the fight even happened. I wrote down who I thought my playmaker was going to be. And if you see, I put a cross through it and wrote, wow. I thought it was going to be Amanda Nunes. I was going to go into her legacy, but I got to go with Juliana Pena, man. The first Ultimate Fighter winner for females ever. This fight was rescheduled. She was supposed to actually fight Nunes back. I think it was August, maybe something like that.
I think it was August.
It got canceled because of COVID, and now you're talking performance of the night, bantamweight champ. People are arguing, and we're going to go straight into UFC talk now, so I'll keep kind of going with it. But Nunes was 1,000, a favorite by 1,000. You could get her at Pena at about 650, I think is what most people saw.
That's what I locked it in at. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking I wrote next to Amanda Nunes' name, Serena Williams, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky. You're talking legacy. Yeah. One of the best fighters pound for pound in the UFC, men or women. Yep. And Nunes was coming off 12 straight wins going back to 2015. Pena's the 4th biggest underdog to ever win in the UFC. And you're talking amongst, Matt Serra versus GSP, thinking way back when. Recently, for women, thinking Ronda Rousey had 4 fights that she won within, I think it was like 2 minutes total between the 4 fights. She got knocked out by Holly Holm. And I thought the best part was you could see in that fight, Nunes won round 1. Clearly, she dominated round 1. Yep. But a lot of times, the mental aspect folds a lot of those women fighters against Amanda Nunes. And you didn't see that from Pena. She just kept marching forward. And you could really see Nunes was still smiling at times, but that changed real quick. She started getting caught with this jab repeatedly. And before you know it, she was on the ground, got taken down, and, the rear naked choke. And let's be honest, Steph, you've seen fights. That choke wasn't in deep either.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Nunes said after the fight that she just knew it wasn't her night. She knew that it wasn't in deep. She just said I wasn't there tonight and I need to go back and work. And she tapped early. I mean,
And Pena,
would she have gotten out? Probably not. She got worked.
And Pena said that Pena's quote was, I could see a change in her face when they were exchanging in that second round, and they were really just going at it, which was probably one of the best rounds in the UFC history in quite some time, to be honest with you. That round where they were just going back and forth, just swinging at each other. But Pena said she could see a change in her face. She knew Nunes was feeling almost defeated while they were swinging. She saw the difference in composure and everything, and she just went at it. She just took advantage of it. That's what you have to do, right? If you want to be a champion, like they say, if you want to be that best out there, when you see the opportunity, you need to close on it, right? And how often do you see, if you're a UFC fan and you watch UFC fights, you watch MMA fights just in general, maybe not even just the UFC, Bellator, just any kind of smaller legacy, smaller ones, right? Your boy came up through that have fought locally around here at the Mystic Lake at the casino and whatnot. You see so often where guys have an opportunity, they get them to buckle or whatever may happen, and they don't capitalize on it. It's they're timid or they're feared of getting caught back with something, but it's at that time where you have to take full advantage of it, because if you don't and you give them enough time to recover, it's over, right? Kind of like the Poirier Oliveira fight.
Yep.
Dustin was hitting him so much harder than Oliveira was hitting Dustin, and he was damaging his face, and he dropped him. He made him buckle, right? And he tried to move on him, and he just, I don't know what it was. I mean, I thought he was going to finish him that first round, and then it comes around, he turns out he has to ride on his back for pretty much a whole round, and then he loses. I mean, I don't know.
And I mean, you nailed that perfect. I wrote my transition from Pena to Poirier Oliveira was the ability to stand in the pocket. When things got tough, both those fighters, Oliveira and Pena, kept marching forward, against stronger, better strikers than each one of them are.
Right.
And it worked for him. Oliveira, I told you I thought he would win that fight.
Yeah.
In that first round, man, that's the thing about these fights, especially in that 155 weight class. They could fight that fight 10 times and it's going to be split 5 times.
So it was after the first round, headshots. Poirier landed 56. Oliveira landed 24 or 26. He doubled it. Poirier doubled it, and he was hitting harder than Oliveira was. So yeah, I know. Shout out to my son. I'm sure he's not watching this, but me and him bet on that fight. He took Oliveira, and I told him after the fight, I said, "Yeah, hey man, he got him." I said, "But he should go. Poirier should have finished him that first round, and he really should have." And he just kept going, "Take the L, take the L, Dad, take the L." I'm like, dude, 56 headshots to 26, and he made him buckle one time, in the first round. So I don't know.
Well, then I mean, now Oliveira, we're looking at him and Gaethje. That's the next fight on the table.
Well, Conor called him out too, and Oliveira said he's ready to fight him. I don't know that they would give Conor that with him losing to Poirier by breaking his leg, but I mean, Connor's no Matt. Like Connor's gonna lose that fight, but I want him to get in there and I want him to get finished and I want him to just kind of be done with the UFC, right?
Yeah.
Like he's done a great thing. If we talk about Connor, he's done some great things for the UFC as far as selling fights, helping the organization as many other fighters have come throughout our time. If you're newer to UFC and you haven't watched UFC for a long time, there's guys like Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, who was like the face of the UFC, who was a straight up just brawler. He was a counter puncher. He let the guy come at him, throw a punch, and when he was stepping back, he just stepped back and he bam just came back at you with the counter punch. He knocked everybody out.
Yep.
And I mean, his shows, like they used to have like it all dark and it'd be like blue crazy lighting, and he would have his Iceman shorts on when they used to be able to wear whatever they want when they're sponsored by whoever. Like the dude was a beast. His trainer, John, what's his nuts? I forget what his last name was from. His trainer forever though said that he's never seen a guy ever that's ever fought that just stays ice cold stone like when he's fighting. Like there's no emotion with him. Like he doesn't change emotion. He doesn't nothing. It's just once it's fight night, it's like the same thing. It's like he's glued in. But then we got some other great fights around this card too. My boy Sean O'Malley continues his dominance, right, with those freaking hands and that striking. Dude's just freaking amazing. Defeats Pavia or whatever his name is. He's finally going to get a contender, I think. I think he's deserving. He may be in the ranks somewhere after that fight.
He's going to get another fighter in the top 10 now in that weight class. There's no – I mean, he's top 15 as it is right now. He's got to get one in the top 10.
And then that Kayakira France defeats Cody No Love. Man, who saw that coming? I didn't.
Well, one thing I wrote here is the weight cut. You know, a lot of fighters, they worry about the power when they lose their weight cut. Yeah. And I don't think that was going to be an issue with Cody. He looked good. He looked big. But one thing they say is when you cut that weight, you lose your chin. And, man, he did not have a chin that last fight.
He got stuck, yeah.
He got stuck quite a few times early even in it that, you know, he just didn't look good, man. And I thought if he won, we might have seen Garbrandt versus O'Malley because those two were really chomping at the bit at each other.
Yep.
I thought maybe we'd get a catch weight for that. That would have been a good fight, but that ain't happened now. That's done.
No.
And then I wrote down two others. Dominic Cruz, you know, that was a pretty good performance by him. He got dropped in the first round on the prelim against Munoz, a really good striker. And, you know, he just fought his way back with volume, consistency in his combinations that
and he said that he said that he would be interested in fighting Jose Aldo. So.
I saw Jose Aldo, and there was one. Man, it's going to come to me once we move on.
I don't remember who he fought, but that might be an interesting fight. Two old guys, two old vets, two old champs, like going at it. That could make for an interesting fight. And what about the fan favorite? I think he got the bonus for knockout of the night, but it's our boy Taya Tuvasa or whatever, the Shoey, right? Just call him hashtag Shoey. Right, Steve will do it from the Nelk Boys. Threw him his shoe, threw him a Happy Dad. He jumped up on the fence after he knocked him out, and he poured the Happy Dad in the shoe, and he did the old shoey. Nate, did you watch the fights?
I call like maybe like a few of them, but like I ain't see all the fights though. I missed a good.
Yeah, that's all good, man. I mean, people.
If I could just add one thing on Tuivasa, the guy comes out to Barbie Girl. You know the song Barbie Girl.
Yeah.
He comes out to Barbie Girl and knocks dudes out and then drinks beer out of shoes.
Yeah,
shoeys. He's a crowd favorite, man. He's awesome.
Everybody was trying to give him his shoe. That's that started his last fight. He fought like 3 or 4 months ago. He knocked the dude out right away, and he jumped the fence. And Steve will do it. He pointed at Steve, and Steve threw him his shoe and threw him a Happy Dad seltzer. He poured it in the shoe, and he fucking drank it out of Steve will do it shoe, and then threw him back his shoe, dude. It's just crazy. And then I guess there was some kind of thing that happened, like security. It wasn't even the UFC or anybody. It was like some of the security at the event. They were like trying to get him to go. He was talking about it post fight. Like he's like, yeah, they had an issue with me doing the shoeies. Like they were trying to like push me and like interrupting, and I'm like trying to like, these are my fans, these are my people. I want to like do whatever for them, and there he's kind of pushing me. He's like, man, we might have a problem next time if security that's not part of the UFC themselves, like just for the event or something, continues to try to push me. So, but yeah, great card, guys. If you guys missed it, you really, man, even one of my good friends, he's a no-gi jiu-jitsu instructor. He's trained a lot of amateur fighters that are local. I mean, he's cornered a lot of them. He's been doing it a long time. I used to train with him years ago until I just got too busy with everything else in life. But he's a huge fan, but he doesn't get them all the time anymore. And he asked me as well, yeah, did you watch him this weekend? He's like, dude, I kept looking at the card he said, and I just had to get it. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I usually get almost all of them anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those cards that was definitely worth it. Some very interesting outcomes, crazy upsets, just kind of what you're looking for, And again, it shows you that in that business, in that game, probably just like any sport, right? Any night or any day or any fight or any game or whatever, maybe match can go any way, right? There's no favorite. Like the favorite's the favorite on paper, but man, the underdog can come through. Hashtag Pena, right? Like what else can you say, man? Just awesome, just insane. All right, did you want to add anything? You want to move on? We're good on the UFC?
Well, there's two more. The only other thing that I'd add, the next two pay-per-views, just to kind of look forward to it. You got the baddest man on the planet, Francis Ngannou, coming back for his title belt.
Yeah, man.
And against the guy, his former trainer is the head coach or whatever trainer of the other guy he's fighting now. Yep.
Yeah, and Cyril Gagne or Gain, however you say his name, he's a tough fighter too. Yep. And then they're talking UFC 271, Adesanya versus Forrest Whitaker. And if you got to see round one of that fight, round two is going to live up to the hype too. So that'll be a good one as well.
Awesome. Sweet. All right. Let's move on. College football. So we only really had one game that happened. It was Navy defeats Army. It was 17-13. Did anybody see any highlights, watch anything of it? I mean, that's really all we had going on in college football this week.
Yeah, I know we do a little bit of gambling on here. I think they said it was the 13th year in a row that the unders hit in that game. Which makes complete sense. It makes complete sense. It's a running game, so
yeah.
But awesome pageantry with that game every year, though. It's such an awesome watch. If you haven't had a chance to sit down that Saturday and watch that game, next year make it a point to watch that game.
Nate, you gonna say something, Nate?
Let's say I think like in the first quarter, like they scored like 14 points up, so like a lot of people got like scared, like that over my head. Then I guess just start running the ball. But like they had a game in MetLife Stadium this time, right? Because like I know it was normally in Philadelphia. They normally had it in, but they moved it to New Jersey.
Pretty sure it was, yeah.
Unfortunately, but
Right, and then we got the Bulls coming up. It's kind of quiet right now until all that starts happening. So all the bowl games that'll be coming up next weekend. Then we'll have the college playoffs basically happening as well. That's really about it for college football. It's been kind of a thing we've talked about and spent some time on for the few weeks, but there's really not much that's happened this week, so there's really not much to report on. College basketball, just going to kind of do a quick run through again, like I always do. Going to do the AP top 25, coaches top 25. They're identical. They match identical. I'm just going to go through the top 5 just so we touch on it. Don't really have much to add to it right now, but unless anyone else does. But 1 Purdue, 2 Baylor, 3 Duke, 4 UCLA, and 5 Gonzaga. And I think a lot of people were talking Purdue. I think Purdue was 2 or 3 last week, so they've taken over that 1 spot, that 1 seed spot. So kind of see where they go. Go ahead.
Are they still the 1? Because they just got beat this weekend again.
Yeah. They lost to Rutgers on the buzzer beater.
Who did?
Purdue.
Purdue lost.
I don't know. I just checked it today. According to the score app, just 2 hours ago, they still were, but maybe it hasn't been up there, or maybe it's.
I think it comes out at 7 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock.
It might have just updated that.
Yeah, they lost this week though, so I think there was.
Who is it? So who's the top 5, Nate?
So is okay. So the AP poll is Baylor 1, Duke 2, Purdue 3, UCLA 4, and Gonzaga 5.
Okay, so Purdue dropped out of the top 5. Baylor moved up 1. Duke moved up 1. UCLA and Gonzaga still in the same spots, 4 and 5. Yep. All right, cool. All right, yeah, we'll see. It must have just came out or updated. Like I looked at this about an hour and a half ago. So NHL, we're just going to touch on real quick, kind of the top in each division. Eastern Atlantic, the Panthers are at top. Eastern Metropolitan, the Capitals. Western Central, my Minnesota Wild. And the Western Pacific, the Anaheim Ducks. So kind of interesting top seeds. I think the teams right below and a couple of those are right there. But I just kind of want to highlight the top one. Again, it's not much we touch on because we don't really watch a ton of hockey. But if anybody ever wants to join and they're into hockey and they want to give us a little more, some shows, let's do it. Or when it gets playoff time, Ball's made this point last time, and I think he hits it right on the head. If you're not like huge into hockey and you don't really enjoy watching it a lot, like when it becomes playoff time, it is awesome. Yes. It is. Like I'm not a big hockey guy, and I enjoy watching. Like I've watched the Wild when they get in the playoffs, and they always lose. They always lose in the playoffs, but it's just fun, man. It's fun hockey. It's insane to watch. So, all right, NBA. I'm just going to run through like the top 5 in the Eastern and the Western. And you're going to be surprised because it's really not. It's pretty much neck and neck. But, we've always talked about the Warriors in the Western as being that top. Actually, the Suns are sitting right now because they played one less game and they have one less loss. They're both 21 wins. But the Suns right now are 21-4, and the Warriors are 21-5. Jazz in the Western 19-7, Grizzlies 16-11, and the Clippers 15-12. On the Eastern side, we got the Nets 19-8, the Bucks 18-10, Bulls. Our Bulls we like to talk about on this podcast 17-10, the Heat 16-11, and the Cavs 16-12. The Cavs are coming out of nowhere this year. That's a team that surprises me a little bit. Not as much looking at the talent around them, but just that they're actually still with the talent. They're actually gelling and creating wins and being in a position where they're in. I mean, the Evan Mobley, Jared Allen's, if you will, like those guys playing together are just insane. Garland figuring it out. Yep. I think Garland's better. I think it's better when Garland's in and Sexton's not. I think Sexton kind of hurts the team. He's a good player, but I think he, in fact, hurts that team as a unit, as a team, gelling or not gelling. So anything you guys want to add on the NBA? We do have a question or two in the comments as well, I believe, regarding NBA.
Nate, you got anything? Otherwise, I got a couple things.
I guess at this point we just kind of went on Curry here to break the record. I know a lot of people was kind of saying that they thought it was going to happen against the Sixers. I'm glad it didn't. So, but we might do it tonight against the Pacers. I'm pretty sure they're playing. So they kept it tonight, but that's pretty much the biggest thing. But yeah, like I was surprised about the Cavs. Cavs, like Evan Mobley's been playing phenomenal basketball. Allen, the front court's been insane. Like I said, like I think Sexton and Garland, like that backcourt just doesn't work. I think it just works better if either Garland's playing or Sexton's playing.
Yeah,
like I said, only that duo is going to work. So
right
for that.
Balls.
Yeah, I wrote. Steph Curry, the 3-point record chase right now. Yep. That's the big topic. Yep. The Bulls have a pretty severe COVID outbreak.
Oh, yeah.
I think they have like 10 players. They had to postpone now 2 games because of it. So that's going to be really interesting to watch, see what kind of happens with that.
Right.
And we've kind of hinted at it, but Zion Williamson had a setback.
Oh, yeah.
So are we talking Greg Oden? Is he Greg Oden?
Yes. Yes. And you know what's terrible is we talked about this, bringing the hobby into all this too. That Zion, these National Treasures logo man auto was like hit just like a week or two ago. The worst one of one, like the logo man one, it probably would have been $100,000 card when he was playing and he was like a guy. Now it's maybe 1,000. No, probably more than 1,000 because it's a logo man and there's still hope for him. But I don't think so. I think I think our days of Zion are nearing. I think he's going to be an in and out player, in and out, just constantly in and out, like never giving us a full season, of play.
I can see that.
And that I think is just it's gonna wear on his legacy just as a whole, like, you know. And I think that's where it's sad that we already got to bring that up. Like, we already got to bring up Greg Odom in comparison to Zion Williamson.
Yep.
But think about how long he's been in the league, and think about how much he's not played in season. I mean, it's crazy. And it's always something new. And it's, again, part of this, I think we go back to the whole weight issue, right? Like, he's a big dude. Like, he's fit, but he's just so big. He carries so much mass. Like, I think it's hard on the ligaments. I think the ligaments, everything else, and the jumping and running up and down the court, like, just too much mass is just not good. You always see these players that are more agile, that are not as built, not as beefy in like basketball, usually tend to be able to just be more agile and be able to just play and not miss as many games. So we got a couple of go ahead.
As I say, remember when he blew out that shoe, and we thought, oh, he's so explosive. Little did we know it was just the shoe given from all the weight.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right. So it's actually from our boy Nate. With Dame Lillard wanting to get paid more, does that impact his future in Portland? Balls?
Oh, yeah.
Dame time. Nate's
Man,
question.
if I'm Dame Lillard, I'm out of Portland. Get me out of there.
Yeah.
Get me out of there. They're not going to win a title.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have a legacy, but like, what's Dame's legacy without a title? I mean, where do you put him? Where do you put him? He's not.
I think if he went to the Lakers, though, I think that would have been the right fit. I think he should have went there and not Russell Westbrook, not Westy. I think he should have went to LA, and I think that would have been the fit. And I think they would be in a whole different position right now, honestly.
You know what? I'll give you one that would be, I think, kind of interesting. Trade him to Philly. Philly. I mean, get Ben Simmons involved. I don't know the fit, but I'm just saying.
But what about Maxey? Like, everybody's so high on Maxey. Do we just kind of push Maxey aside then and him be because Maxey's kind of taken over that role. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, the difference has been a lot of talk with trying to get Lillard to Philly, or because Dame Lillard, he actually said that he actually want to play with Ben Simmons. That's kind of one thing too. So I'm like,
but is he going to work out? If he said he doesn't want to play with Philly anymore, then is Ben Simmons and maybe Lillard going to go sign somewhere else and not Philly because Simmons is like he said he's done? I mean, that's something to think about too. Unless Simmons just thinks like Lillard coming to the team is going to make him decide now he wants to play for the Sixers. I don't know, possibly. I guess you would have thought that he would have mentioned some of these things though to management, like of him not being happy there. Like, you know, Lillard's been a talk of, you know, where he's going to go is, you know, why wouldn't things like that be brought up? Like, hey, bring me in some other guy or bring me in some other guys. Sometimes people do that, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Aaron Rodgers complaining before the season started about how they drafted and bringing the quarterback and I need receivers. I only have Adams, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're such a name and such a player around a team, then be vocal about it. If that's really something that's going to help you stay there and they're going to be able to get you to stay and they can figure out a way, and maybe it's not the exact player you're looking for, but maybe it's whoever they convince and they're like, hey, is this guy, if we get this guy, is this guy going to work for you? You know, a bigger name, whatever. I don't know. I just think he would have said something or mentioned something like, you know, if you do this or do that, then hey, you know, I'll stay or I won't stay. I don't know, man. Interesting. It's interesting talk. It really is. And like I said, I think he lands up in LA, to be honest with you. I don't know. You know, I think if LeBron and AD and them still stick around, I think Westbrook's gone after this year in LA. I don't know. I'm sure I'm wrong, but it's my opinion. That's kind of where I see it. You know, he has mentioned about LA as well in the past. Like he was at a WNBA game at the Staples Center, and he had said something about like I love it in LA or something. And that's before the season was starting. That's where there was hints like, oh, people were just he's going to the Lakers, like whatever. But hard to say. I don't know, like, what team will Ben Simmons end up on this season? This is another one from Nate. Is he going anywhere? Is he gonna be with any team? I don't know. Honestly, I don't.
I think. Well, I mean, he because it's clear this him and the Sixers like he won't play another game for Sixers.
No,
so,
but I know. But are they going to even just deal with him? Are they going to even are they just going to let him? Like, isn't he losing a bunch? He's losing a bunch of money, right?
Well, I think he is, but at the same time, I think he's doing kind of the regular stuff. Like he's still coming in. I think he's still kind of doing meetings and stuff like that. But he's just
he doesn't get paid for his games, which is probably the biggest part of his salary, of course.
Yep. But I mean, I heard like a bunch of different things, because I saw the Pacers are starting to rebuild, so they said you might turn to Indiana could be one, Portland maybe like a CJ McCollum, somebody else.
Okay.
And there's a few other possible trades, but I think he does get traded eventually, this season, probably closer to the trade deadline. I'm assuming.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see.
You got anything on this?
If he gets traded, he's not getting anything that he's worth. They won't get anything out of him, I don't think, because teams are just they're not gonna trade for him because they know they have the leverage. Philly ain't going to play them. So they'll get lowballed. It's just up to them whether or not they want to take it.
Yeah. I think that's the issue right now is that we want more than we probably won't get because obviously he hasn't played and then people know that the relationship is no more pretty much. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, it's interesting conversation, and I'm glad you actually put the questions up because these are some good things to kind of talk about and debate on and whatnot because those are two big names in the NBA.
Yeah.
One that we don't know where their next route will be to, and the other one we don't know either, and it's not even playing a game at all, not even being involved. So interesting. My Timberwolves, they continue to kind of hang on and try to be right around that 500. We can't ever get over the hump or get above 500 and then kind of keep moving a little bit up. But they did beat the Trailblazers, talking about Lillard. They did beat them last night. I actually bet a little money on that game. Won a little on that as well. So I've been on the bet side a little bit more since I did the UFC thing with Bovada or whatever. So kind of interesting, kind of fun. All right. Let's move into our baby. We'll do the NFL questions. We'll do all the other questions as well, but let's roll into our baby. It's going to be a shorter podcast tonight, guys. We're one less person down, but we want to probably get and watch this Rams and Cardinals game anyway because it's a big game. So I'm going to go out the highlights like I always do, and then you guys hit me with what you got from what you saw in the weekend. But so we got the Browns defeating the Ravens 24-22. We got the Chiefs rolling through the Raiders, not even close, 48-9. Oof, yikes. We got the Chiefs, I guess, are back, right? The 49ers defeat the Bengals in OT, 26-23, overtime. The Bucs defeat the Bills in OT. That was a good game as well. It goes to overtime. So the Bills show up, kind of, but still, no run game. I threw in my Vikes winning on Thursday night as well because that's important. I don't know. We'll see as games keep going. We're probably going to be out of it still, but 36-28, and I had to highlight that because of Cook having the big game and being a playmaker. But here's where we're standing right now. AFC East. I'm gonna list top two teams in each division. So AFC East, the Pats 9-4, second the Bills 7-6. AFC North, Ravens 8-5. Browns 7-6. So the Browns closing in on the Ravens, especially with that win against them. The AFC South, Titans 9-4, Colts 7-6. The AFC West, those Chiefs that we're talking about 4 or 5 weeks ago, wondering where they are, sitting at 9-4, and then the Chargers 8-5. NFC East, we got Cowboys 9-4. Washington football team 6-7. NFC North, Packers 10-3. Vikes 6-7. NFC South, Bucks 10-3. Falcons 6-7. And the NFC West, Cardinals 10-2, and the Rams 8-4, playing each other right now tonight.
Yep.
Guys, give me some takeaways from this weekend in the NFL.
Whew. So I'm looking at the playoff standings right now, and they are insane. Over in the NFC, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams was at 6 and 7 for the last playoff spot, which is insane. Washington's the 7th seed, got the Vikings, Eagles, Falcons, and Saints. And then over in the AFC, you got 5 teams at 7 and 6. So the playoffs gonna be heating up for the last 4 games. So it's gonna be some good football. I know there's a lot of divisional games happening towards the end of the season. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a wild ride for the end of the season here.
Kyler just got picked off almost by the end zone by the Rams. Kyler Murray threw an interception at they're at the 10 or 15. He threw it and they intercepted the 1. He's trying to throw a touchdown pass. So balls.
Yeah, I wrote down a couple things. QB injuries, especially when it comes to that AFC playoffs. You're talking Lamar. I know they're saying day to day. And Josh Allen, both day to day with ankle injuries. Their mobility is key for them, for both of those guys.
Yep.
Baltimore, you're looking at, the Browns are coming on a little bit strong right now. You've got Pittsburgh. I mean, they lose, they're done. But then the Bengals, they're still within, reach as well of that team. So they need Lamar. Talk about the Bills. They're currently the 7th seed. They're not safe by any means.
Yep.
They got the Patriots again.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. But I wrote here, the Chiefs are back 3 games in a row that their defense has allowed 9 or less points. That defense is healthy. It's taken away the ball. So yeah, that's the Chiefs look to be that team that New England is going to have an issue with, and that is a team that can beat New England. I wrote down a few other teams, right now on the outside for the AFC. You're looking at the Browns and the Bengals on the outside looking in, and the Vikings and the Eagles on the outside looking in for the NFC. So that'll be really interesting to see those kind of teams. Those are the ones that I have highlighted.
Right.
And then I wrote down, not only defensive rookie of the year, but possibly defensive player of the year, Micah Parsons.
Man.
Oh yeah,
that guy is on a tear. In a position that he wasn't really drafted to play that position. He just came in and started rushing, and he's on pace to break the all-time rookie record. So, and we're talking he's gonna have 17, 15, 16 sacks this year. Yeah, I've got him up there for defensive player of the year.
So that kind of rolls me into this question. Joby One says, what does everyone think the NFL offensive and defensive? Well, yeah, he says offensive and defensive rookies of the year. He says, I'm going with Jones and Parsons. Jones will get the overall, but I believe Parsons should. I agree with Parsons. Mac Jones, as far as rookie for offensive, yes. Let's expand this question. What you guys give me your takes on this, but then also at the same time, give me your takes on who do you think the MVP offense and defensive MVPs are going to be in the league as well. So, overall, not just rookie.
I mean, if we wanted to add maybe another name or two to that list, I mean, Jamar Chase is going to be in the conversation, but it's
going to be a quarterback, Mac Jones. He's he's leading his team 9-4. They're sitting 9-4 right now. They're already sitting with basically probably a bye in the playoffs. I mean,
So I mean, you're talking it's Jamar Chase as his only competition. I think that one's pretty much a wrap. Defensively, maybe somebody like I mean, Diggs gets burnt a lot, but the amount of interceptions he has, that has to play a role. Maybe somebody like I can't pronounce his name, but it's JOK. They call him Joke for
Oh yeah, like Jeremiah Owusu, some.
yeah, some
Who's he play for?
Awusa or something like
They
that.
play for the Browns.
Yep, he's a linebacker for the Browns.
Linebacker. Okay, yeah.
He's been excellent all year, but again, he's not in a premier position really. So yeah, it's a runaway for those two, Micah Parsons and
I agree.
Mac.
I agree.
As far as MVP, it's Tom Brady. It's still Tom Brady, in my opinion.
But what about Aaron Rodgers?
It's still Tom Brady.
The Packers are 10-3. The Bucks are 10-3, right? So I think we said they were pretty much neck and neck. Brady, let's just look at stats here, okay? So yesterday, this is a good little conversation piece right here. So yesterday, Brady was 31 of 46, 363 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions, right?
And a rushing TD.
Okay.
Yep, he did.
And then the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 29 of 37, 341 yards, 4 touchdown passes.
Yeah, well, Aaron Rodgers played the Bears, so I know, but I still think it's Brady's to lose.
The Bills suck at rushing defense, so that rushing touchdown for Brady can go squat. No, I'm just kidding. That's why I love Fournette though, and it paid off. Fournette paid off. I made money yesterday in DFS. Fournette was my guy. He was my thumbnail for this week's deal. Dude went off because Buffalo has not a good rushing defense. Everybody goes off against them, rushing wise.
Yep.
So
I'm going to say Brady, and then I'm going to go Miles. I think Myles Garrett's going to close the year very strong, and I think Myles Garrett's going to win defensive MVP.
I like that call. I think Aaron Rodgers wins it. I think it's a Brady Rodgers race, and that's what it comes down to. I know you hate Rodgers, but dude, it's not about hating somebody. You got to look at the stats and look at it.
I'm not even 24 hours off the beating we took, so I'm not agreeing with you.
Okay, so maybe next week you'll agree with me because maybe beat him a week later. Nate, you got any thoughts or anything you want to add to that?
I mean, for the MVP, it's definitely down to Brady or Rodgers. I'd probably say Brady has a slight edge right now, but Rodgers been putting up some good numbers the past couple of weeks as well. So it's like
it's close. It's neck and neck. It's neck and neck. But either one of them, they both carry the same record, and they're both running about the same numbers in reality.
Choose your next words wisely, Nate.
Don't listen to him. Do not listen to Balls. Balls needs to smoke a little more so we can get him on our side here.
And if a defense player of the year, if I say he's going to be Myles Garrett or I'm going to throw TJ Watt in there. TJ Watt's been having a great season as well. So, I'm okay. I'm going to go TJ Watt. I'm going to go TJ Watt for defense player of the year right now. Boom.
Okay. All right. I think I'm pretty much almost in agreement. I mean, on the defensive side with Balls, Myles Garrett, but I'm leaning Rodgers offensive. Rookies, I think I'm right on where Joby one said. Mac Jones, quarterback. Yep. They're 9-4. It just makes sense. Parsons and what he's doing. All right, so let's go through the rest of these questions here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. We'll probably be right around an hour, which will be nice. All right, so Eric Stalling says, and this is going to be just everything else in between, nothing else, just hobby or college football or whatever else. I'm not an Alabama fan or a Georgia fan, but the Georgia fans were talking lots of smack until Alabama beat them. Bryce Young is incredible. I agree with everything mentioned. I just don't think Georgia has the schedule that these other schools have. Just referring to Georgia, and they're hanging out of their number one seed for so long because not playing the competition that some of these other teams did. And I think that's well said. I think probably all of us here would agree with sometimes scheduling wise, favors some teams, especially even a number one team, because when they play someone actually at a higher rank and then they get beat, it kind of shows you like, hey, yeah. Maybe they had it wrong. Maybe they didn't get it quite right. Maybe someone else, maybe they should have been like a 10 rank or a 5 rank or a 3 rank or whatever rank, not a 1 rank, right? Based off of schedules and whatnot. So, Joe Mann says, you guys are the 4 horsemen of podcasting. What do you guys think the next manager of the New York Mets will be?
Ooh.
The next what?
Next manager of the New York Mets. Who will be the manager of the Mets?
Jeez.
Pretty good question.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, I think for the Mets,
is there any good coaches that were on a team like the Braves or someone that wasn't like a head coach, that was like a assistant or a, like a?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough coaches to name like a coach to come up, but I want to say the Mets have to do something in their like health and development, their science, their sports science. They always seem to have the talent with pitchers, but they're always injured.
Oh yeah,
always injured. Yep. They're big, star players that they're supposed to have are injured. Yeah. So whoever they hire, they've got to figure out the sports science behind it for that team in that market. So I don't have a coach, but that's what I would say.
Buck Showalter, Joe Mann says. Buck Showalter.
I mean, how old's Buck Showalter now?
Oof.
Dude, most of these coaches, there's very few young ones in baseball. It's usually they're all old, right? They gotta kind of do this walk when they go out to talk, whatever, like this little.
Walk. You gotta do a slow trot out there.
Little trotty trot. All right. Let's see. Do you guys think college football should do away with some of these early bowl games and expand the playoffs? I mean, I think they should expand the playoffs, but I don't think there's any problem with having a bunch of bowl games throughout getting into the holidays. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. And I think it gives a lot of these college football players, these seniors that may not ever get a shot to play again, they might not ever get drafted or play in the NFL, gives them that one last game and like something maybe that they can look forward to and, remember or cherish if they don't continue moving on. Balls?
The only rule I would have is you have to have a 500 record. Because right now the current rule is you have to have 6 wins. I forget who it is. Somebody is 6-7 playing in a bowl game. I think you have to have a winning record.
Right, but it's like a bowl game that's really meaningless. You know what I mean?
Then why play it if it's meaningless?
To give them an extra game.
Yeah. I mean, but there's like
exactly, it's money. But for
there are a lot of bowl games. Though it's like.
But for the players, it's not the money. Players, it's being able to play, right? Yeah. Like they're not getting paid. They're not getting paid per game. So give the players a shot. Rank these quarterbacks for playoffs. James Zua. Appreciate you coming in here, man. The first time I think I've seen you in here, you said rank these quarterbacks for the playoffs. Kyler, Josh Allen, Tom Brady. Well, I think I'd go Tom Brady, Josh Allen, and Kyler Murray.
I probably go Tom Brady, Kyler, Josh Allen.
Balls?
Man, I'm not big on Kyler, so I've got to go with you, Deafness. Brady's obviously one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, he's proven to be he's the one, right? Like he's got enough to back that.
I like Josh Allen and Diggs, but I mean you got Hopkins with Murray, so
yeah.
Either way, I'd still go Josh Allen.
You got Diggs, you got Beasley, right? You got
Yeah, but then you could say he's
so
got Kirk,
underrated.
he's got AJ
So underrated.
Green,
Yeah. He's got
Rondell Moore,
Emmanuel Sanders. He's got Gabriel Davis.
Rondell Moore.
Rondell Moore is a beast. I love
Yeah.
that dude.
So,
I already saw him catch
but
a
that's a good
ball when I
question
looked
though.
over tonight.
That's a good
All
question.
right. What's that? Yeah, it was a good question.
Yep.
Great job as always, guys. Keep up the great job. Let's see. What do y'all think about NCAA banning fake slides after Kenny Pickett? You're gonna
I
have
love
to,
it.
Nate. You're gonna have to cue us in. I'm not even sure. I don't think I heard about this.
Oh yeah.
Clue
So
us in.
okay, so I think it was like the ACC championship game, I think, or yep. So Kenny Pickett got out on a run and he actually he pretty much ran like and then like kind of like fake slid, but like he didn't force he ran to like this and then just kept going and like that caused like both the defensive backs to slow up obviously because
Yeah.
obviously the quarterback slide
Right.
hit him late and then
Right.
Kenny Pickett scored a touchdown. So I bet it's like, oh, he can't fake slide because obviously they're gonna force the defenders to slow up and not keep going full speed.
I think that's a little ridiculous in my opinion. But I mean, we're trying to protect, right? We're trying to protect quarterbacks. Typically, quarterbacks are the ones that are going to slide in most cases. If you see some of these receivers, there are a couple of them, and I'm trying to think who comes to my top of my head. But there are some guys when they're about to get hit that actually dip down. If they know they're not going to beat them or get any farther, they kind of drop or they kind of dip or slide. And I think it's in a way it's smart, right? Like if they know they're in a position where there's no way they're going to be able to advance, like they're for sure going to get rocked or going to get hit. They basically just kind of do they almost down themselves, but the guy still hits them a little bit, but they're not taking as hard of a blow, I guess.
Yeah,
but I think it's smart. I think you see some of these guys that do it. I'm trying to remember. I've watched games and I've thought about that too, like to bring it up, like in one of the podcasts about, doing it because you see it often.
Yeah,
but they also stay healthy. They don't get hit, and they're good receivers. I mean, I'm not thinking of it's not some little Jimmy John. It's like some of the topper tier receivers doing it. So, what sport sells the most cards in the hobby? As far as sport, man, Mark, I think that's a really good question. You would say probably are we talking all time? Are we talking like right now? Because it's going to be seasoned if you're doing it in a certain time frame.
Yeah.
If you're talking most ever, you're going to probably have to say baseball cards because they've been around the longest.
Yep.
Like baseball cards in general, tobacco, the tobacco cards. There wasn't tobacco football cards, at least in the first many, many years.
Yep.
So, I mean, you would have to go that route. Balls, you got any intake on this?
It makes me wonder how many basketball cards with the international market with like China. China's really big into basketball. So if we were talking like last year, that would be interesting, but it would definitely be baseball. I think right now, all time would be baseball, but I'd like to see since quarantine started or since this has started to now, who's sold the most?
Right. Yeah. So like I was gonna kind of like find like a, I guess either like a stat or some like numbers that said like football sold this like this number or this much money, and then baseball this much money, basketball this much money.
Right.
But I mean, right now it probably still is baseball, but I think NFL, basketball, and the NBA is probably still up there because NBA gets a lot of hype with players coming out. And then like we know with football it takes one player to break out, then everybody start buying up cards and this and that.
Right.
So.
Right. Joe Mann says he thinks baseball as well. Yeah, Tony La Russa's in his 70s. Yeah, a lot of those baseball coaches are old. All right, what's the best and worst sports movie to watch? This is Brady's dad. He put best is Hoosiers, worst is Benchwarmers #2. And there's a lot of good sports movies, man. I think it all just depends on your mood and what sport you want to watch. Like what sport you're kind of into, what you're feeling, or what. I mean, geez, you can't ever. Major League as comedy. Like if you want a comedy, probably the best comedy movie ever. Major League, right? Baseball, what do you think? Field of Dreams, probably one of the tops. That rings a bell for baseball.
Yep.
Basketball, yeah, you probably say Hoosiers. There's another one that was who was in it? Was it Lawrence Fishburne? Who was
You
it?
think Coach Carter was Samuel L. Jackson?
Is that what it was?
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's
Carter,
a good one.
Coach
That's a
Carter.
good one. Yep.
Football, I mean, you got a lot of them. Like one of my
football's a lot.
favorite football movies of all time was The Program. Like that movie was freaking amazing, dude.
Yeah, how about this? I'll give him one that a lot of people haven't heard of. There's a movie on Disney Plus. If you go back, it's based on a true story about a Clemson safety. It's called Safety. But it's on Disney Plus. It's a really good, like, heartwarming movie. Got a lot of good football action. It's a really good movie. Go watch that as like a low key. Here's a suggestion. It's a good movie if you got kids to watch it with them.
Okay.
I play clips. I'll probably get copyright strike, won't I? If I put clips up on here, like in the little window.
Close to. You only have a few seconds to play.
Yeah, I was gonna put some clips up, some movies, but yeah, we'll leave it alone. I don't want to do that or mess anything up. So, which one? Seen a great Trouble with the Curve is very overlooked. Joby One says.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many movies out there, guys. A wrestling one. What the hell is it called? I used to watch this. I mean, I wrestled like in middle school, and I'm glad I did because wrestling has helped me develop when I was doing a lot of jiu-jitsu back in the day and all that. But I had great ground control, and takedowns. But what the fuck? It's like an 80s movie. Oh, Vision Quest.
Yeah.
If you ever want to watch a good wrestling movie, it's an 80s movie. Vision Quest. I know you're out there. You're in hiding. Yeah, man, that gets you pumped up. It just dawns about the intake. But you gotta have someone. Boom. Yeah, buddy. Any other movies to list?
I can't. Not off the top of my head.
You can't? You won't? You can't?
I guess that one's football. Like the Remember the Titans is a good one.
Little Giants. When he goes that distance. That's a clip I was gonna put up actually when he's like the coach.
Is it Cinderella Man? Is the boxing movie?
Yeah, yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Cinderella Man's a really good movie.
Oh man, yeah. What else?
Here comes the Boom is the bad one. Kevin James, where he tries to be an MMA fighter. Yeah, not real at all. Fake.
No, fake. No. Somebody put on here another comment from our boy Joe Mans was, how about Ron Harper Jr.? And I haven't been following college basketball like enough on the college basketball side. I'm just pulling it up here.
Wasn't he the game winner for Rutgers?
Yeah, he did. Yep,
yeah. He hit the game winner versus Purdue Deafness this weekend.
Oh, he's the one that beat Purdue. Probably right here.
He's had a good season too. 16 points.
Probably right there. Yeah, buzzer beater. Yeah, he must be like was he like one of their top guys? I would assume he's averaging 15.8, 7.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 41.6% field goal. He's a forward. Nice for the Rutgers.
Do we have any more questions?
I think that's about it, man. Let me just
because I got one more thing. I meant to add it for NFL and I forgot.
I think we got everything we covered. Well, Tim's dad asked once again about should we boycott the Olympics, and I mean,
well,
yeah,
probably,
they should. As of right now, they should.
Yeah. Oh, he said, hang on. He's all right. Hang on. His dad's in here. NFL TV series of the same names, Playmakers. NFL TV series of the same name, Playmakers on ESPN. Hey, man, but we're the Playmaker podcast. We're not the Playmakers.
Yeah, Playmakers got canceled by ESPN though after 10 episodes.
yeah, we're already sponsored. We're moving in. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that big. What's his nuts deal? We're gonna get that big nut.
McAfee.
Yeah,
That paid
FanDuel.
good money.
Everybody, let's go. What's your top movie? Pick one. Top one, if you could pick anyone. Sport, movie, any movie, I guess.
Dang.
I swear we just did this, didn't we?
Well,
Like
I think we did. I don't know if he's saying
I
like
think it's
sports.
sports.
We did kind of do this last week, I believe. But I'm getting Joe Mann says any given Sunday. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Game of Inches. Game of Inches.
I'd have to go.
That Pacino speech is freaking legendary in that movie. Any given Sunday.
Yeah. I'd have to go Remember the Titans.
Top Gun. Well, and then Bernard just he's coming up with any old one. If we're going any old one, I'd probably say either Good Will Hunting or Shawshank Redemption. If it's just anything, not it doesn't have to be sports. Good Will Hunting or Shawshank Redemption, huh?
I'd go Goodfellas or Blow. Those would be my two.
Blow, yeah.
I love that movie.
See, what happened is you spent. You got $150,000 education on $1.50 late fees at your local library. You like apples? My boy, he's wicked smart. Wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
What do we got? Rudy. Joby one says Rudy. All right. I don't know, guys. I think we're about good, man. We're just over an hour.
Oh,
we can get in and enjoy the rest of this game. 7-3. So
I got one more thing though, NFL wise, I want to add.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
This upcoming weekend for the NFL is just loaded. Starting on Thursday night, you got Kansas City versus the Chiefs, or Kansas City versus the Chargers. Ooh. That's a big divisional game.
The Chargers. I'm sure they're going to be the underdog. I'm taking the Chargers in that one.
Then we've got Saturday night football. Don't forget about that this weekend. Okay. There's Saturday games.
Yep.
We got New England versus Indy. That should be a good one.
That's a good game. That should be good.
Nate, I got you wrote down Washington versus Philly. That's for that battle for that 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got these two written down for Tennessee and Pitt and Cincy, Denver. Those are teams right now in that playoff hunt. And then we've also got the 49ers versus Atlanta. Whoever loses that game, they're out completely. Yep. And then Green Bay, Baltimore. Baltimore trying to survive. If the Rams win tonight, then we're talking Green Bay's playing for that 1 seed. So next weekend is really good. And then next Monday night, my Bears will beat Minnesota on Monday Night Football. And we'll be all good. Back to normal, baby.
You'll be back to normal by beating us?
No, I'll feel better. That's all that matters.
You want your team to lose every single week. Nagy gets fired. And now they're playing the Vikes, and you're like, you want them to win.
No, I wanted them to win last night.
Well, most weeks we're on here, you don't want them to win. You want Nagy gone. You don't want him to win. You'd rather we've actually asked that question in numerous weeks. So if you could get a win or Nagy would get fired, which one would you take?
I'd take Zimmer getting fired because he lost to the Bears, baby.
Okay. You just trying to help my team or what? Is that what you're trying to do?
Help me, help you.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna win, but we'll see. I mean, there has been we lost. I mean, we did lose the Lions, so you got that. So they may just not show up like normal. But I want the Browns in the playoffs. What about the Jags? Slapshot was a good one. Every time you guys bring it up, guys, make sure you're banning the Brandy, Cali, Vark Tech, whatever it is. It's probably some porno website. You can go slang off that somewhere else. What about the Jags? Always pick always pick then win. What do you mean always pick then win? I don't know what that means. But what about the Jags? Man? They got smoked again.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Urban Meyer, you're fired.
Man, they're not gonna get rid of him that quick. He's got a couple years.
Yeah.
He's got a couple years.
I don't know the way different reports coming now. I'm like, I don't know.
They asked him today about a specific player, and he was like, "Oh, he played a great game yesterday." Dude had 0 snaps. He doesn't know. They're firing Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's gone. I think so.
Well, he is gone.
Yeah,
You guys are just gonna have a new coach every single year. Just yearly, you're gonna change your coaches because that's gonna help build a team. Like that's doing everything ass backwards. But
I mean, things like I normally like coaches like to like at least have like some like time, but it just like there's just a few cases where like you can tell a coach is either like just out of his league or he just can't control the team, and like you just can't have it for another year. You got to just get him out,
And
just put different in there.
well, I mean, you run with a. Here's the thing, though. Everybody forgets you run with a rookie quarterback. Like that's to start your season. You're running with a rookie quarterback. Most rookie quarterbacks are not Ben Roethlisberger. Sorry to break it to the NFL and everybody who watches and fan, but they usually struggle quite a bit and don't usually lose or win many games. There's very few quarterbacks that have success starting as a rookie, actual rookie. I'm not talking about a quarterback that sat on the bench for a couple years after he was drafted and then eventually gets his first official start and has a great career. I'm talking about quarterbacks that go right in as a rookie.
Yeah,
Very hard to win in the NFL to start. 2, you're a rookie quarterback. I mean, what the hell?
That's kind of the league right now, though. They bring in a head coach and a quarterback at the same time, and if they don't pan out, they're both gone that quick. Realistically,
yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna say that, then you're basically saying Trevor Lawrence is done. Then he's no longer going to be the starter for the Jaguars. They just wasted a whole season with the rookie trying to develop him. If you're going to say get rid of Urban Meyer and the rookie quarterbacks, bring him in. I mean, it takes more than a year. You're not going to win a championship in a season. Like, I'm sorry, especially when you haven't been a great team to begin with. Like to start off, you know what I mean? Like they've been crap forever.
I agree with you, but that's just the trend of the league right now.
I don't know that I agree on that on a year, a quarterback and a head coach like coming in both brand new and just doing that, but I don't know, could be wrong. So Nagy and Fields are gone then too. Is that
I'm not saying the quarterback. I'm saying okay, if you wanted to go that way, you could look at it. We got rid of Mitch Trubisky. We're gonna get rid of Matt Nagy. They didn't come in at the same time.
You didn't get rid of Mitch Trubisky in one season.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say is a lot of these coaches and the quarterbacks are paired together. They're not going to get rid of Trevor Lawrence, obviously, because he's the first round pick. But if you took a team like the Bears, we got rid of Mitch after 4 years. We're getting rid of Matt Nagy after 4 years. If we bring in another coach with Justin Fields, if he's a bust with this next coach, that next coach will be fired because his number one job.
That's what I'm getting at. You're saying after 4 years, though, not after a year. That's what I think.
They'll fire Urban Meyer because he's not working for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is more important for the Jaguars than Urban Meyer is.
Yes, absolutely.
I think they're going to fire him.
I don't think he's. I think he gets one more year, or he'll get through the first half of the year next year. And if he's,
I think he gets one more game. I think they get beat next week and he gets fired.
Really?
Wow.
I need to wait to end the season. They're gonna fire him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do it in the season, unless some crazy news scandal comes out. Then it's like okay, then you gotta leave. But
I mean, he called all his coaches losers. He can't name his players. he had the Chop House incident. There's a lot of stuff adding up.
I simply made the comment though. Are they just going to bring in a new coach every year? Because that's what they seem to be doing over in Jacksonville, and that's why they continue to be where they are.
Yeah. No, you're right.
They're going to continue to be that way if they just keep doing that. That's what I'm getting at. The problem is I don't care if they fire him or not. I'm not an Urban Meyer fanboy. I'm simply stating you can't just continue to get a coach a year after year after year after year. It doesn't fucking happen in a year. I don't care who you are. You can't just come in and do it in a year as a coach. It doesn't happen. I don't care who you are. So these coaches have to have at least a couple years to try to make something happen. Unless you're a team that just came off winning a Super Bowl and you still have your whole majority of your whole team still together, where you're expected to be right back in that Super Bowl next year. That's what I'm getting at. It doesn't happen in a year. It can't happen in a year. So maybe the Jags can trade picks for all the Minnesota receivers. Nah, man, you're not getting our receivers. Our receivers are staying. So I know Nate's like he'll trade Rieger for Jefferson.
Oh yeah.
So guys just can't coach. Hey, Joe Mans, you're 100% right. He's a college coach. Some people can't coach the NFL. I don't care if it's Urban Meyer. I don't care if it's Tim McGraw. I don't care if it's Kenny Rogers. I don't care who the hell it is. They bring him in. Don't bring him in for just 1 year, right? Unless it's just a flop. They should have fired him a long time ago, like 6-7 games ago. I mean, you really don't think you're gonna how do you think you're gonna change your outcome of your season being fucking 0-8 or whatever to where you are now with the same exact team and you're still running with your starting quarterback, letting him learn in the NFL? Just I don't know. It's weird. It's strange to me. But I'm not a GM. I don't get paid to do that shit. I'm not a coach. I don't get paid to do it either. It's my opinion. Just want to keep switching every year, do it. Just be a crappy team at the bottom every season. Saban wasn't good in the NFL either. Yeah, Saban wasn't good in the NFL either. So Nate, a Jets fan? No, he's not a Jets fan. He's a Philly fan. Philadelphia, Eagles, Sixers, Flyers.
Phillies, all the
those Phillies team. Yeah, Phillies, all the Philadelphia teams. We hope me play a team that gets COVID on a Friday so we can get a win. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I don't even know if you can do that though. So baby steps. That's where it starts. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna sign off here. You guys got anything else? I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this game. Mean fans in Philly. Nah.
I mean,
some of them. Like Nate's not mean. Nate's a good dude.
Yeah.
So all right, guys. Anyone else got anything? Any closing comments? Nate, Balls?
No.
Not listening, doesn't care, pissed off, mad at the world, shaking his head off, not even looking at me. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to sign off.
No, I need Christian Kirk. I told you I need Christian Kirk, and he just caught it. They threw a bomb to him.
Oh, I thought maybe I was behind and he got a touchdown because I'm like the red zone right now. I'm like,
no, I'm behind. I'm streaming it. So
if he hit a bomb, he must have, because they're down in the red zone now. So it must have been right. He must have already done that.
I told you I need him to score a touchdown, and I'm all good. I got my
he's in my DFS lines, and I'm already ahead in my season long already. Remember, I told you I needed 20 points. I'm already. He's got nobody, so I'm going to be at top of the board again. 10-3 or 10-4. 10-4.
Actually, all I gotta say is that way only either Brady or Balls to get the Fire Nagy thing get started here. The Fire Nagy either chant or petition or fan club.
Get your website, Fire Nagy, like Brady said. So you like Justin Hurts? Do you like Justin Hurts, Nate?
I do. I mean,
is he the answer there? Do you think?
To be honest, I think so. I mean, once Sirianni actually start play calling around him, actually run the ball more, gotta get him out of the pocket more, then we start winning games, start scoring points. So, long Sirianni can actually just fit game plan to his skill set, and then we still got, our receivers are young. We got Devonta Smith, we still got Jalen Reagor, we still got Quez Watkins, we got Dallas Goedert, we got Miles Sanders out of the backfield. So we got a bunch of young playmakers. So
yeah. No, Alex, I think you got it wrong. I wasn't saying you said mean fans in Philly. I said mean fans in Philly. I said no, they're not all mean. Nate was saying said yeah. I said they're not all mean. We got Nate. How was that being mean? You said mean fans in Philly. I said no. Nate's from Philly. We got meaning he's cool. He's not mean. Anyway, guys, I think we're gonna be out of here. So we're gonna go watch the game, enjoy the game. Tomorrow night, hang on, guys. Tomorrow night's big. Tomorrow night is the Toys for Tots fundraiser sports card auction. Probably start right at 6. Got a ton of crap that was sent in, donated. Tom T's also got like 4 different unopened blaster mega boxes that he's going to ship direct that we're going to auction off as well. I got some stuff, so I mean we're gonna go at it. It's should be a good time. Should be a fun night. So
Yep.
all right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Nate, Balls.
Peace.